I know. Hi, guys. It's May 4th. What does that mean? Oh, yeah. It's Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day, guys. I totally and always blame Michael for the geekiness that is this theme, because the truth is I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I do really like other geekiness things because of him. So, yep, we're celebrating Star Wars Day with Mr. Darth Vader here. He's going to join us. Hey guys, I'm Summer. Oh, we are here today for Movement Warrior at Greensboro Downtown Yoga, and we are going to continue the work on our Turkish Get-up. So it's with Star Wars Day, it's all about finding cross-slings of our body to continue that work for our lovely Turkish Get-up. If you didn't, go back to last week's class where we start the Turkish Get-up, because we're going to build on that. All right, let's do it. We are going to start today in a kneeling position, and Mr. Darth Vader is just going to hang out with us. We're going to start in a kneeling position right here. Just sit really tall for a moment. I want you to tuck all 10 toes under. So you are sitting really tall and your eyes are shut. And just take a few moments right here to be in that moment, to be focused on where your body is in space. And know that for the next 30 minutes, we are going to work all muscles and build strength so that your epic life journey can be done with just a little bit more ease. Big deep inhale. Exhale your hands to heart center. Come into all fours. Roll your belly in so you look to your tummy. Exhale, arch, look to the sky. We're just going to move through a couple cat and cows to get our body moving and warm. You'll notice, aside from Mr. Darth Vader hanging out with me, I also have a block and some weights. If you want to have those nearby, you can as well. And find a neutral spine. Pull your belly in, tuck your toes under, lift your knees an inch off the floor. Boom. Lower them down, sit back to your heels. Lift up, big deep inhale. Exhale, sit low. You're gonna reach your arms. I want you to get this big lift. Exhale, come to all fours. And apparently we have music. Cat cow. Neutral spine, come neutral. Lift your knees an inch off the floor. Pull your abs in tight right there. That's going to become an important place later as we continue to progress this today. Lower your knees, sit back to your heels, lift up. Reach your hips forward. So now we're going to start to get this like push of your hips. So you squeeze your butt, sit low, lift up, squeeze your butt. Now come down, find that all fours again. Again, it'll make sense. Neutral spine, tuck your toes, lift your knees, hold. Lower, and sit back. Let's do that one more time. All right, lift, push your hips forward, squeeze your butt. Sit low, one more time, lift up. So you're warming your feet up right now, right? Come back. It's so beneficial to do this barefoot versus having shoes on, because you're going to get the muscles in your feet much stronger. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. I actually saw a dude running barefoot yesterday outside as I was on my walk. I was like, go down. Lower down. Hold right here. You're going to step your right foot back and then in. So you're getting this length behind your knee. The whole time, pull your abdominal muscles in. Because if we start to let them drop, you notice how I step that arch? See if you can see it right here. See, there's this arch in my back. I want you to pull up so you're neutral. I mean, there's always going to be some type of arch. That's just the curvature of our spine. But we want to really find that neutral. All right, hold right here. Sit back onto your toes. Lift. Okay, so you're going to do this little kind of flip. Hands on floor, little flip. Much less than what that sounded like. You're on your toes. Come back to your knees, back to hands. Lift knees. Step your right hand and left foot forward an inch. Come back, other side. Keep doing that. So we're getting just this little tiny movement forward and backwards. Notice the hips, they have to stay square. That's the hardest part of this. Last one. Hold, knees down, push back. Ooh. Flip. Right there, hold. Reach your arms forward. Big reach of the arms high, inhale. Let's come back down to the mat. Oh, it's kind of fun. Lift knees, opposite hand and foot. Use your breath. Do you hear how I'm breathing? You pull in. So those exhales are really about pushing into the mat, bracing and using the center of our body. One more. Hold. Knees down. Push. Flip. Oh. Yeah, my hands had to come down. It is what it is. Hold. Lift. We're going to do that 2 more times. Lift your chest. Now, maybe it doesn't feel good for you to kind of have that like, whoop, I'm diving. That's okay. Knee, hand, hand. Lift your knees. Opposite hand and foot. Hold. Knees, back, flip, lift. Shoulders down. One more time. You get to all fours. How you do it. Opposite arm and leg. So much of today, I want you to have this mental mindset. You know, that is a lot of what Jedi training, lower your knees, is about. Come in. So let's get motivated by Star Wars. Let's get inspired. All right, right here. From this low position, bring yourself all the way up to standing. Lower your heels. Great job. Your feet might be cramping a little bit, especially if you're not used to being in that little tiny position like that. It's okay. We're going to grab this block. If you don't have a block, you can use a textbook. I mean, you can use a book. You can use anything, or you can use nothing. We're going to place it right beside us with one foot on top of it. You're going to lift and lower. Come up, lift down. So I want you to just kind of stand and lower. So a big part of the Turkish Get-up is single-sided movement and how we can use this kind of cross body. So that's, we're trying to get into this hip. This shouldn't be too bad, right? You're just stepping up and down, obviously. We're gonna hold up on this next one. Hold right here. Now, your foot that's off the ground is gonna tap the floor in front of you, stand up. Tap the floor in front of you, stand up. Now, if your balance is like, I'm all over the place, tap the floor, tap the toe. Tap the floor, tap the toe. Wherever you go is your body, okay? But I want this hip to be doing work. Because that is how we're gonna get stronger for somewhere where we're gonna go later on. Ooh, 2 more. Now stay on top of this block. Hold. Step your foot off to the side. You're again on top of this block. You're gonna lean and then kind of push off. Lean, I want you to push into the leg that's on the floor. You don't have to use the block. But we're using this glute as a way to try to get a little bit stronger. Now you're gonna reach and pull. This is gonna become important in a few moments when we add weight to it. Right now, we're just getting the body warm. One more. And release. We're gonna switch that to the other side. So again, we place the foot on top. We stand, and come on. Lift, and down. It's like we're just kind of marching through, right? Mind. Let's put our mind in the moment. You know, how we really train our body, which is what we're doing right now. We're training it for the big epic battles. This is where it matters. We have to put our mind here so that when it counts, when you're out in life, when you're on the field, when you're in sport, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think, oh, but turn on. Which is such a minor thing. That's what this is doing. So that when we go through some of those big dynamic yoga flows, if you join me in some of the big yoga classes, it's just there, hold up top. All right, we're gonna tap that heel and then stand up. Oh, for those of you who don't know, I have a pin and 3 cadaver ligaments in this left ankle. Yeah, it impacts my life, of course. That doesn't mean to stop. You just have to think a little bit more. So maybe I just tap the toe, right? Sometimes, instead of trying to get that balance. Good, 2 more. Now let's stay on top of the block. I'm just turning on your head angle. You're gonna step out to the side. And, nope. Guys, my brain just couldn't figure that out all of a sudden. Push off. You push off the foot on the block. Just lean in. Oh my goodness. Right? Sometimes my ankle causes my brain to not do what I exactly want it to do. Good. Do 1 more. Perfect. Get rid of that block. Again, that was just kind of a moment to start activating into some of those deep muscles. I want you to grab your weight. If you don't have weight, it's fine. I have 3-pound weights. So you do what works for you. We're gonna step, I'm gonna do this from the side. You're gonna step your right leg behind you, lean forward. I want these hands under your leg. You're gonna fly out to the side and down, up and down. So notice my shoulder blades, they are squeezing together. We are low into this front leg for strength. Could we be higher and be right here? Absolutely. You find what works for you, but I want that strength into this front leg. Now, take your hands, place them beside your foot. Just let the weights kind of get off to the side. Step back to a plank position. Hold plank position. You're going to lower down into a push-up. So elbows right by the side of your body, and then push back up. Drop to your knees if you need to. Lower down and up. Right? You find the way that works for your body right now. We want to get a little bit of shoulder stability in this. Let's do 1 more. Hold your plank. Hold. Now reach back to downward dog. Take your right hand and touch your left leg. Then reach that arm forward. Notice I took my feet wider. That gives me more stability. So I reach and I stretch. I cross and tap. 2 more. You're getting that long cross-body movement. Come back to center, lower your hand, lower your knees. Push to that kneeling position that you were in earlier with your weights now. Hands are right here. Yeah, we still have the other leg to do. You're gonna step and pull it. Step and in. You can do this without weights. Right here. So what I'm trying to get you to do is from kneeling, stepping through. It's part of our Turkish Get-up. And it's probably for some people, one of the most challenging moments to not let those legs swing. I'm giving you this little stretch forward to get into your hip flexor. Let's do one more. Stay forward, hands come down. Lift your back knee. It should be the other leg, right? Lift and lower. If it's not, just sneak your way so it is. Go deep into that front leg where you're squeezing that space right between your shoulder blades tight. Your neck is neutral and long. Now hold. Bring that back knee down. Weights go out to the side. Hands come in. Okay, you're going to go straight to that downward dog. Reach your left hand to your right leg. Come forward. Reach. And so you might be doing this on your knees right here. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Especially if you start to feel a lot of pain into your lower back, or you're starting to feel like this is happening and your hips are just staying high. Like, find what's better. Technique-wise, this is my weak side, so I'm going down to the side. One more. Now come back, hold right here. We're gonna do push-ups again, but this time, we're gonna do one push-up, one plank, reach your right arm, lengthen forward, come down, push up, come up, downward dog, left arm, reach forward, hand down. Do that again. Push up, right arm. Your body is in this long, flat line the whole time. Again, if knees is where you want to go to knees. Just like that. We have one more on each side, okay? Let's stick through this together, guys. Be that epic warrior, be that challenge, and let your body be so much more than your mind oftentimes thinks it can be. Hold your plank, hold, hold, hold. Knees come down, grab your weights. Ooh, that was fun, right? Hands right here. Stretch. This time, lift your back knee. Come down, step in. Step forward, lift, lower, back. So I'm doing curl, press, in, down. Now, if your knees just absolutely hate this, I'm going to show you a version where you would just step, press, in, right? Same thing. You don't have to be all the way down on the ground. It's just, again, prepping us for that lovely Turkish Get-up that we're about to do. Let's do one more each side. Perfect. Stay down. Bring those weights to the ground. Off to the side. Grab your block. Ooh, all right, you're going to lay on your back. With the block, you put it in between your inner thighs. You're going to press on it. Lift your hips up and back down. The only reason I'm having you do this is I want you to feel your inner thighs and your glute engagement. It becomes important here in a moment in this Turkish Get-up. Let's do one more. All right. So hopefully you got kind of that activation. Extend your right leg out to the side, your right hand onto the floor. Your left knee stays bent and your left arm to the sky. Yeah, this week I was not going to mess that up. I felt really good. Okay, hand on the floor. We are right here. So this is what we practiced last week. We push our hand into the floor and come to elbow. So big deep inhale, come to elbow. Now lift a hand. Let's go back to elbow and lower down. Do that again. Up to elbow, up to hand, down to elbow, roll down. Now, what is so important about this is this rolling up factor right there and lifting. I didn't do roll-ups as preps today. We did that all four quadruped, but no, hey, there's other classes on if you want to work on that. Just how you can activate them. All right, we're gonna add on. So we lift up, come to our hand. Now from here, you might have to adjust your hand a little bit. Lift your hip. That's where we stopped last week. Today, this leg that is straight out is gonna tuck under, so your knee is now pointed out to the side of the room. So I look like this, okay? Let's unthread that. So the leg that's behind you comes under, roll down, elbow to the floor. Let's do it again. Elbow, hand, hip, knee, hold. Unthread. Leg, abs are pulled in, elbow, roll down. One more time on this side, just like that. Notice the leg needs to stay on the floor straight. I gave some tips for that at the end of last class. Definitely check them out. Hold. And I'm going to give some tips on this at the end of this class today, so don't worry. If you're totally like, I don't know what I'm doing, you're not alone. Roll back down. Let's try the other side. So let's start off with just the prep. Push up onto your elbow, onto your hand, down to your elbow, down to your hand. You might wonder why we were doing those pressing movements with the weight. It's for this right here. Because ultimately you would be holding a weight and you need that shoulder stability. Abs are tight. Push up. I realize you guys can't really see this, so I'm going to turn just so you can see better. But we're doing the same thing. Okay, now lift up elbow, hand, hips. Hips down, elbow, roll down. Push and flex your foot so it is strong. So we're using our deep abdominal muscles. You right here should feel that big cross in your body. That arm is having to stay lifted. Our hips are engaged. Those inner thighs are engaged. One more. Lift. Press. Come down. All right. Let's add that knee. So we lift, we hand, hip. Now knee comes under. I'm over to the side, right? Boom. Unthread. Come under. Elbow. Roll down. Abs are in tight. Lift. Push your foot into the ground. If you can master this part, I promise you, the rest of it is pretty straightforward. We've actually kind of done some elements of it today. Lift, knee, come down. Just take a break for a moment. You should really feel kind of everything through here having to turn on to do this. We're gonna go, because the next part's kind of very gentle flow. So let's try this. If you're totally lost, again, stick around. I'm gonna give some tips at the end. If you know what you're doing, awesome. Breaking down the Turkish Get-up, I think is sometimes harder than just doing the Turkish Get-up. All right, so let's go. Elbow, hand, hip, knee. Now push off this hand so you're up. Notice how I'm kind of angled. I have to now turn my back foot. Oh, look, I'm in a lunge, right? Hold, you're gonna stand up, and I'm in a lunge. Same foot steps back. Lunge, knee, looks like what we did, right? Now here's kind of the tricky part. You've got to pivot your foot and then place your hand on the ground. And then it's just an unthread that we've already done. Unthread, elbow, roll down. Let's do it again on that side. Again, if you're used to the Turkish Get-up, sometimes breaking it down like this can really help you master some of those small nuances. Push up, knee, hand, rotate. That rotation's important so that you are in this front lunge. Your top arm has not moved, right? It's still straight to the sky. Rotate, hand, thread, elbow, roll down. Let's do one more on this side. You might notice you're kind of moving all over the floor. That's okay. All right, push into the ground. Use those abdominals. Elbow, hand, hip, knee, push, rotate, stand, lunge, rotate, hand, unthread, elbow, roll down. You hear how I have like that cue for each word? That's how I taught it to myself. Those were the ones that I needed to go every step of the way. I encourage you to find the ones that work for you. Maybe you want to use those exact same ones, and I'm going to say them again so that we have them. Let's try the other side. Arm is lifted, hand by our side. So it's same arm and leg lifted. Let's go. Elbow, hand, push hips, knee threads up. Okay, so now you're in this position, right? You have to push yourself off. You should be angled to the side. Rotate your back foot so you are now forward. You're on the other side. You've got to push up to standing. Step back. Rotate. Make sure you rotate. Hand. Unthread. That was ugly. And come down. Let's do it again. So push it. Lift. Abs are in. Hand. Hips. Knee. Push. Rotate, stand, lunge, rotate, hand, leg, roll down. One more time. Let's make it really strong. Again, if you're all over the place, I know it's the learning curve of the Turkish Get-up. Lift up, press. But think about each of these moments, your hips. Your knee is wide, so it's about that distance from your heel to your knee. Then you push up. You can't do a lunge like this, right? You have to rotate. And then stand up. Abs are tight. We have to get back down to the ground. So lunge. We can't unthread from here, so we have to rotate. Have to have our hand on the floor to unthread. Our elbow has to be there. And then we come down. Once you start to figure out each of those steps, it becomes much more intuitive. But I will say it probably took me a couple months when I was first learning it of slowing it down and saying those positions to where now I can do it with ease. But I'll say when I get tired and when fatigue starts to set in, I start to notice some of those technique flaws and I slow it down and I go back to where I was. So that's what I want you guys to challenge yourself with. My hope and my goal over the next couple of weeks is I really, really, really want to do a Turkish Get-up yoga flow. So we're building the strength right now so that we can do that in our Yoga Sweat Hybrid class. Just know that that is coming. All right, let's give ourselves a great big reach to the sky. Bring your hands to heart center on behalf of myself and the lovely Mr. Darth Vader. Go have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye, guys. Look, he's a little nutcracker. It's kind of fun. Bye. Oh, I said I was going to show you a couple tricks. So, a couple tricks to think about. Probably the area that most people get really confused with, I noticed with a Turkish Get-up, is so we'll get here, right? We can get to this, and they push up, and they don't really know where this leg is supposed to go. And I see it like here, and then they're like pushing forward. The thing that you want to think about is that this knee is almost in line with this wrist. So you're kind of in line right here. You still have this kind of open gate position. And I can't do anything from here, right? I have to push myself up, but I'm angled to the side of the room. Is like step as far back as you can. If you glue this hand to the floor and you really think about your knee, your wrist, and your ankle all in one line, like even put a piece of tape on the floor and try to match that line. It will then make it, you might have to adjust this foot a little bit, but you don't want to be so far back that you're like, oh, right? Because that's not a Turkish Get-up. Then that's like a weirdly odd split. So again, I think taking a piece of tape and putting it on the floor and making sure your wrist, your knee, and your ankle are all in that line when you hit here so that you can then push and rotate. And that's kind of, if you think about it, look where you end up. 90, 90. It's that same place as when I had you right here coming. So if you really want to figure out like what does that tape lines need to be, come back to this kneeling position that we were in earlier, step your foot forward, kind of lean in, see what that space that you need is, and then essentially, look, I can come down from the Turkish Get-up right here, right? If I rotated, hand, and come back down. So that's kind of the little trick, is that 90-90 position. It's why we did that. And yeah, so if you have questions about Turkish Get-ups, I really love them. I think that they are such a valuable tool. And actually, if you go back last week on IGTV on my personal Instagram, I posted why I love rolling so much. So Summer Sides Fitness, you can learn a little of the backstory. All right, bye guys.